Welcome science stars to our brief instructional talk about energy within our ecosystems. The first concept I'd like to discuss within this module is what is energy and where does it come from? Energy is defined as a property of an object which can be transferred to another object, or energy is the ability to do work within a system. The system that we're referring to when we think of Earth and its energy is the solar system. Within the solar system, there is a sun and many planets along with comets and other celestial bodies. Here, the sun is the creator of energy and it is transferred to the Earth to use. The sun is the creator of most energy within the solar system, and it is able to create a lot of energy by nuclear fusion. Essentially, nuclear fusion is the creation of a helium molecule by the fusion of a proton with another hydrogen. This is where we begin to understand that energy can be found in many forms and can be transformed in order to be used. In the case of the sun, nuclear fission results in the creation of many forms of energy. The first type of energy is nuclear energy. This energy is used by the sun itself to continue more fusion reactions. The second type of energy is thermal or heat energy. We know the sun creates heat energy because the average temperature of the sun is 5,500 degrees Celsius. The third type of energy created by the sun is radiation energy. For those of you who have ever spent a hot day on the beach without any sunscreen, understands the consequences of radiation energy. The fourth and final type of energy created by the sun's nuclear fusion is light energy. This light energy, along with thermal and radiation energy, travels through space to Earth. When it reaches Earth, this is when the magic begins. Now, as humans, we do not have any methods of capturing light energy to power ourselves. So, this is where the importance of plants comes into play, considering the flow of energy within an ecosystem. In the last module, you were introduced to the concept of producers within an ecosystem. Producers are organisms that produce their own food and only require a few inorganic resources to do so. A synonym or another word for a producer is an autotroph. Autotrophs are considered the base of energy within an ecosystem. From this base, degrees of consumers or heterotrophs are built on top. In other words, the flow of energy begins at the base and moves up through the energy pyramid. Another way to represent the flow of energy within an ecosystem is the concept of a food chain or food web. A food chain is a linear, hierarchical representation of the flow of energy within a given ecosystem. In other words, a food chain is organized on who eats whom, and each organism is dependent on the previous organism for energy. A food web is similar to a food chain. However, it contains many paths for energy to flow from autotrophs to the top heterotroph or top predator. Between these different graphical representations of the flow of energy throughout an ecosystem, all of them have one thing in common. That thing in common is that autotrophs are at the beginning of every single one. Plants are the most common type of autotrophs within ecosystems. They have special organelles designed to convert light energy and inorganic compounds into sugar, also known as glucose. These special organelles are called chloroplasts, which undergo this process called photosynthesis. Inorganic compounds or nutrients that plants need to grow are found in the soil. Decomposers recycle old matter such as leaves, brush, and dead organisms back into basic elements. These basic elements are then absorbed through the plant's roots and further transported to the chloroplasts to undergo photosynthesis.
Created using Powtoon.